This episode of the Poundcast is in part brought to you by Louisville Vegan Jerky Company. They make Louisville Vegan Jerky. That's right. It's meatless, soy-based jerky, and you can find them at lvjco.com. And they have lots of different flavors you can choose from, such as buffalo hot wing, pepperoni pizza, smoky Carolina barbecue, and they also have limited edition flavors that they come out with every month. And the newest flavor, perfect for the holiday season, is honey glazed ham. Okay? To quote the website, this is a juicy, savory ham flavor topped with a sweet glaze that deliciously balances the saltiness. And get this, 10% of sales of this flavor go to the Dare to Care Food Bank, which has been helping out families in Kentucky for the past 55 years. So if you order on the website and use the code word Poundcast, you get 20% off your order. Now, this stuff is bagged in the United States. It has a shelf life of 9 months, and you don't have to order it online. If you want to order it in person at stores, you can find it at places like Whole Foods and Sprouts. And just check out their website, lvjco.com. Once again, use the code word Poundcast and get 20% off your order. Welcome to the Poundcast. My name is Brent Weinbach, and I'm here with comedian Fahim Anwar. And this is a kind of, I don't know what you call it, a crossover joint
the kids
episode, perhaps?
They may call it a collab, I believe.
Something like that.
If you were looking at a single on Spotify, I think it would say Brent X Fahim.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
I believe.
And so it's not just the Poundcast, I guess. It's also the
Fahim Anwar Dance Hour. This is like that episode of Step by Step where Urkel parachuted into the house.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that. There's a lot of episodes like that. I mean, you know, a lot of these shows are spinoffs.
This is true.
You know, Family Matters is a spinoff of Perfect Strangers, you know?
That blew my mind. I didn't know that till much later.
Oh, really?
I just accepted it. It's sort of like when I was a kid and I would hear a Will Smith song, and then then you find out that it's this awesome song from the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
And that all of them are that. I'm like,
oh, right.
I felt lied to.
Right.
I thought every Will Smith song was an original.
Yeah,
I just thought he made hits.
Hey, I remember when I heard You Can't Touch This, and I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. And then I heard,
I'm just now finding out, like, my world is being rocked.
And then I thought, oh, who's Rick James? I said, oh, this is the original.
And then don't you like the original better? Or no?
I don't even want to say.
Like
I don't want to say.
You're like The Rock. You're going to lose all your fans if you say.
I don't want to say if I like Pepsi Hammer more.
We know what that means. I could read between the lines.
What I wanted to say about this whole crossover business is that we'll get back into, you know, pop culture crossovers, but I just wanted to say that whenever there's a crossover podcast, I feel like whoever's studio or whoever's home base you're doing it in, it ends up feeling like, oh, you're actually just doing the other person's podcast, you know? So what I'm saying is even though this is an episode of the Poundcast, we're doing it here at your studio, and
we could switch chairs.
This is the Fahim Anwar Dance Hour. Let's be real. Okay?
Call it what it is?
Well, I'm just saying, okay, we can call it some sort of cross thing, but
this feels like an away game, is what you're saying.
I mean, it's more than just an away game. This feels like
my house,
your own game. It's your game. It's your game. It's your It's
What you're saying is you're in the guest room of my house that has been converted into a podcast studio, and maybe it doesn't feel wholly yours.
It doesn't feel like, and it also doesn't. Not only does it not feel like mine, it feels like yours. It feels wholly like yours.
Do you think it has something to do with the fact that it's in my house and this is all my equipment?
Well, yes, it is. It absolutely. We're recording on your equipment, except for this microphone. But other than that,
hold on, I'm curious because when I was setting up and everything, I had a mic. It was going to be placed near you, and then you were like, I have my own mic, if you don't mind. Was that so that you feel like you didn't completely let go and that you have a piece of your pod.
You know what? That's a good idea. Let's say that, yeah, this is my own little oasis of the Poundcast right here.
So I can't completely eradicate you.
Yeah.
This is like yeast.
This is my studio right here.
Yeah.
You know,
and I want to get that away, but I can't. Cause you know what I mean? I want to wipe you completely off the map. But
This is my last bastion of I don't know.
Of your pod.
Of something, yeah. But I do feel I've done this sort of thing before where, you know, we do it and then we end up doing it at somebody else's thing, and it just seems like, oh, okay, we're actually just doing their podcast and we're releasing it on our feed. But then again, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe my thing starts when I introduced, and then there was a little bit of the pre-talk stuff that maybe that would be on yours, and that's what makes them different, I guess, or something. The only time that it felt like an equal thing was when... No, it didn't even feel that way with it. I was going to say, because when I did the World Record podcast where we did... It was Doug and me, and we did it with Amanda and Brendan. It was at the same studio that we do it at, but when I think about that, they had their whole green screen set up, and once again, it felt like it was their podcast. So, yeah, you know, anytime I do these crossovers,
it's with an asterisk next to it.
I just feel like this is really, you know, your thing. But then again, I did
anything I could do to make it feel like your thing, by all means. Just let me know. Say the word.
I don't think there's anything that you could do. And you know what? I just want to say I appreciate you letting the Poundcast be here and do our episode here.
I'm honored.
With your equipment in your studio. And thank you.
Honored to have you. Honored to be doing this crossover app.
Yeah. Now back to Rick James. You do like Rick James more. More than MC Hammer. Or, I mean, that song, Super Freak. You like Super Freak more than You Can't Touch This.
I guess for some reason not for some reason, I think I just really value originality.
Yeah.
So even if my entry point is MC Hammer's You Can't Touch This, I was a little kid. I loved that song. I thought that was it.
Yeah.
I would dance like MC Hammer. I would do the talent show. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
That was my first performance ever.
Really? I was going to ask you about that actually.
Yeah. So and I was too shy to do it by myself. So I had my friend Sean, I believe. And I taught him, he wasn't even a dancer, but like I didn't want to be up there by myself. So I taught him this MC Hammer dance, and me and him just danced to You Can't Touch This for the talent show.
Yeah.
And we were like little kids. It was probably terrible when I look back, but I mean.
Did you have the pants?
I might have had baggy pants. It was just a lot of crossing the legs and stuff. And then.
Can you still do it?
I know, I don't remember it. But if you look at the footage, there's a VHS tape out there, and he's just like looking at me for the choreography the whole time. But what a good friend! Like to not be a dancer and still do it. He probably terrified up there. How old were you
again on that?
I was maybe like 8 or 10 or something.
I gotta say, there's something about You Can't Touch This that is really catchy. You know, even just the phrase. No, I'm saying, okay, well that's in Super Freak. I'm saying something that is different than Super Freak. For some reason, that phrase, You Can't Touch This, dun, dun, you know, you don't have that in Super Freak.
It's very much talk to the hand. It's a vibe. It's a culture. It is an anthem. You can't touch this. Like, I'm so cool. You can't get close to this. You can't see me. John Cena. There's an umbrella of You Can't Touch This.
There was a little bit of controversy about what
this meant.
What this was.
Really?
Yeah.
Were people thinking it was his penis?
Yes, or something. They weren't sure, and
that's how old we are. Where that's the controversy. I think about this all the time, like where we are with like Hawktua and all this stuff. And when I was growing up, for there to be controversy about he's saying you can't touch this, and kids are listening. And I remember The Simpsons, Bart saying "Eat my shorts."
Oh yeah.
Moms were in the streets. They're like they're trying to get the Simpsons off the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The I remember in school there was some question about what is that? What can't you touch? And some teachers thought, oh, they're talking about genitals. I remember a lot of guys though saying, no, they're saying you can't touch the music. You can't touch the music. This is the music. You
but
can't
also,
touch
isn't that a good message
about
like
you can't
autonomy?
Touch my style or something like that?
I would think parents and teachers would like that. Like, you can't touch my penis.
That's
a good message.
Yeah, it is a good message. But I think they just thought any suggestion.
It wasn't like get a load of this.
Yeah.
right? Because then that's
please touch this. Please touch this.
Please touch this.
What if the song was "Please touch this"? Please touch this. Come on,
like,
touch this.
MC Hammer was like the first incel. Yeah. Please touch this. Come on, I told you.
I need this.
I need this.
I'm hard. I'm hard. Now touch this. It's really explicit.
And they keep asking him what it's about, and
I'm
he
throbbing.
plays coy. He's like, it could be about anything. Anything.
Music
can be
is throbbing.
What do you want people to touch? It's a metaphor. My spirit.
It'd be funny if he was explicit about it. He's, a lot of people think it's about my style. No, I'm talking about my penis. Just watch bumps in a pump or whatever it's called. Pumps in a bump, pumps in a pump, pumps in a bump or whatever.
That was an interesting departure because he was fun,
pretty family friendly.
Yeah, family friendly, and then like humps in a bump or whatever. It seemed like not the best branding strategy.
Pumps in a bump. It was just his penis was out. I mean, it really was. Like please touch this. It became please touch this
please
later
touch
on.
This?
But
that's a real missed opportunity by Weird Al, huh?
Please touch this. Yeah.
Please. That'd be great if he did it now. Like, wait, this is his white whale, the one that got away, and he does it now.
Right.
Please touch this.
He probably. You know what would be really cool if Weird Al did is went back to just parodying 80s songs.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
What's the last one he did?
You mean parody period?
Yeah.
He did something kind of recent. I forgot. I don't know. I don't keep up.
I met him at a party.
I did a thing. I did what's it called? That show that was on. What was that show on Comedy Central?
Oh, Drunk History.
No, it was a game show.
At Midnight.
At Midnight, I did At Midnight with him.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
I met him for that. Did you talk to him?
Dude. Yeah.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
What did you ask him about?
And I did one of those
I didn't really
things
talk to him too much, by the way. Yeah.
That I never do. I just saw him. I was at Questlove's party.
Uh-huh.
He has this game night in Los Angeles, and it was in this mansion in the hills. And then so there's different.
Questlove had a game night.
Yeah, he throws these legendary game nights. Like Taylor Swift has been to one of them. The one that I went to, where I've been to two of them now. But like,
the one you went to had Taylor. No. Okay.
Not the one I went to. That was like a New York one, I think. But the very first one I went to, J.J. Abrams was there. Sudeikis, Meg Thee Stallion was there. I played Uno with her.
I don't know who that is, but
she's like a rapper.
Okay.
And then who else is there?
When you say game night, okay, hold on. This is a whole thing that sounds like something I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
But I feel like before we get into all this stuff, there's a kind of there's a big issue that we haven't addressed right now.
Whoa, okay.
I don't know if we should even address it or not, but do you know what I'm talking about?
Hey, that's up to you. This is your podcast, dude.
Right.
This is your pod.
I guess this is my podcast, I guess. But I just feel like there is something that feels kind of weird about what we're doing right now.
Okay.
And I feel like we might be the only people doing it. Right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
What?
Well, there's just a big devastating thing that is happening in our city right now.
This is partly why we're not at your studio right now.
Yeah, and yet we're kind of just talking about our silly stuff,
Well, we're talking about this. There's 200 people out there who need this.
Look, I knew that there are 200 listeners
across the world
that need something. They need something to listen to for an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt it my duty to record a podcast episode, even though there is some serious
devastation that is going on,
stuff that's going on in Los Angeles right now,
and it'll take a while for LA to.
And it was something that I thought we were going to even talk about right at the top, just to,
get that. MC Hammer kind of takes.
I guess
precedent.
that was more. I guess so. That was more important. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and it feels kind of weird for us to sort of be sitting here and joking around and stuff, talking about please touch this. Meanwhile, there's people have lost their homes, and we're over here laughing. And
we're not. The way you frame it like that makes it sound like we just got delivered that news, and we're
I know.
Please touch this.
But
I think we forgot about it momentarily.
Well, we did. I mean,
because we are day 3 into it, or
4.
4.
Wait, 2. Yeah, 4.
I don't know.
Day 4.
It's crazy.
Day 4, yeah.
And we're getting evacuation notices sometimes on our phone, and they're mistakes.
I think people there's a lot of things people misinterpret the evacuation notices. Sometimes they're evacuation warnings, which is be ready, you might have to evacuate. So some people are taking that as evacuate, get out now, which is not saying that.
What doesn't help, though, is that they also did a mistake where they sent it to everybody they sent it to everybody in LA County when it was supposed to be the people by Woodland Hills.
Yeah.
For this Kenneth fire that just broke
Kenneth
out.
one, yeah. And then there's also people will say, here's the evacuation zone. And then they'll list streets. And then some people will think, some streets are kind of named after neighborhoods, and then they'll think, oh, I'm in this neighborhood, I have to go. But it's actually just the street, but they're not actually in that zone or whatever, you know?
It's just been very confusing all across the board.
For example, the other fire, the Sunset Fire, one of the borders said Laurel Canyon, and then some people who live in Laurel Canyon thought, oh, I got to go, but that actually wasn't even in the area.
Street.
It was just the street or something like that. So people might have thought they had to leave anyway, yeah, there's that. I'm not receiving any of these notices personally, actually, because
I downloaded an app because it was pretty hard to cobble together where to get information, and this one is pretty good. I happen to like it. I mean, I was going to tell people what it is, like they're in Iceland and need it.
Yeah.
But just in case, who knows? It's called Watch Duty. So
yeah,
God forbid there's another fire. This is LA.
I mean, well, they do seem to keep happening.
I know. But hopefully not
they're
to
getting,
this degree.
The wind has died down a lot, so they're able to contain these fires better, although some of them are still raging.
Yeah.
Anyway, so not to make...
We're not trying to diminish that at all.
Not to joke around about it or not to be somehow insensitive or something or not. We just started talking, and that just sort of happened organically, you know?
Yeah, you live not too far from me. I happen to have this.
I live close, and he has this, and we thought there's 200 people there that need this.
200 people, yeah.
You need this. And that's us. That's our audience.
That's ours combined. That's sort of why we did the crossover episode.
Yeah,
I go, I only have 100 listeners. And you go, well, I only have 100 listeners. And I go, do you think we could double it if we did a crossover? And they go, we kind of have to do it.
Yeah, especially in these trying times.
Well, I almost feel like this is like a shelter for you, the podcast. I'm taking you in.
It is kind of like, actually it is.
Because your Burbank one, you weren't able to.
That's right, yeah.
And in your time of need, I'm able to fulfill.
Well, also on top of that, the Burbank one for me goes away in a few weeks anyway.
That's not fire related though.
It's not fire related.
That's and business.
There's, that's strictly business. You know?
Is that with a D? Business?
Yeah, sure. It's strictly business.
Oh shit!
And
I didn't know it was that serious.
But then, so I guess I'm, but anyway, yeah. This was we're kind of in our own little zone here. Anyway, whatever. So there's a couple ways we can go. We can talk more about. Have you thought about what you would do if you had to evacuate and what you would have to?
For a moment, I was.
Yeah. So was I. By the way, so was I.
Things are sort of settling into what they are. I think it's turning around a little bit. You know what I mean? In terms of like containing the fire, it's not as crazy.
Yeah.
A day ago or maybe 2 days before was a little more hectic. And I had an idea of maybe just getting a hotel in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
And just waiting it out or something.
You had that thought, yeah.
I had that thought.
When did you have that thought? Because of the Palisades or because of the Kenneth thing?
Both. There's the Palisades,
Because Kenneth is kind of close.
Yes. Yeah. I thought I was going to have to go because of the Kenneth ones because Woodland Hills had a bounce, and that's like one or two cities above me.
Yeah.
But then I got that app, and I can track a little better. Now I have tools where I can see when I got to go for sure. Because before it was more nebulous, and I'm like, I just got to get out. Yeah. I thought about maybe going to LAX, even just going to Seattle or.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Because the city, it's devastating. Like, even outside of the fires, it's going to be a slow roll to... and then,
nothing's going to be back to normal for years,
Yeah.
I think, To rebuild some of these neighborhoods, I mean, I have a friend who... he's been very lucky, but almost every house in his neighborhood burned down except for his and two others or something, or a few others.
Wow.
Somehow his house stayed
just
up.
Randomly?
But it was in Altadena, and just... Yeah, randomly his didn't get hit, but everything. I mean, how do you live in a neighborhood like that where, even if he's continues to live there, what do you?
Yeah.
that's weird to live in a neighborhood that's completely burned down, except for your house and a few others. That's really
even when
weird.
the city's being built up, you just come out with coffee and just see an entire neighborhood being built up from the ground. You know what I mean?
Not to mention what a thing to live in. I mean, you basically have to live in a construction zone for a year, I guess, or something, or however long. That's weird too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did think about there was a fire near me. It got contained pretty quickly, but I did think about what do we take? What's the most important stuff?
It's so simple. I even packed my stuff because I thought I was going to have to go.
Got to get your Reeboks.
My box? Not even. These are almost like slippers.
Oh, really?
That's the only reason I wear them, because I could slide into them super easy.
Oh, really?
I could check the mail. Yeah.
I mean, we're wearing
twins.
the same shoe, but
let's get a load of that.
But you know what? Yours is the newer model.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I see. They don't make them like this anymore.
Oh.
Did you know that?
Do you have a back? Are you able to get them? Because you love those, right?
I did. Well, in 2019 is when they switched the design, and I did buy a couple back stock or old stock from.
Do you have a closet full of 100 of them?
I wish I did. I only have 2 of them in the closet waiting for me at this point.
Are you really trying to milk these things?
What?
Are you trying to juice them for as long as you can?
Yes. I'm trying to wear them out longer than I normally would.
So how do you know when you're done then?
Once the bottom is just fully open. Once I'm at, it's like the Flintstones, but for shoes.
Oh, once the soles do this?
Yeah. Once it's talking, once I turn my, I become a ventriloquist, and I'm doing this as my act now, where if my shoe is a character, it's like a Jeff Dunham character.
Yeah.
And I'm doing that. Once that's the case, then I'll probably switch. Or once I am just, my feet are on the ground, and these are just basically
you're Flintstoning it.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's like meta Flintstone, because normally they do that with the car.
That's right.
So for you to do that with shoes, it's kind of next level.
It is. It's taking it to the next level. So it's kind of like Jetsons in a way. You know what I mean? Because it's
next level.
It's the next
Flintstone.
level. It's next level Flintstones. But
so yeah, what was going to be your plan? Oh, yeah. Are you talking about what you gather?
Got to get the Reeboks. Okay, those are one of a kind.
I just need shoes. I'm not a loyalist to Reebok. I know you will get your back.
Well, no, I'm not going to be a loyalist to them anymore once I run out of these. Actually,
what are you going to switch to?
I probably will stop wearing sneakers.
No, you're just going to stop wearing shoes altogether?
Yeah,
in protest.
I think I'll wear those. I'll wear those shoes where your toes go into them. Those shoes where they're
you're a monkey, like those.
Yeah, those water shoes or whatever they are.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'll probably wear just brown, kind of just nondescript shoes. Are
you just gonna go to Big Five one day and you're like Harry Potter and his wand? It finds you.
Oh, maybe I could do that.
Why don't you just take when you run out of your last Reeboks, go to Dick's Sporting Goods or go to some huge emporium, and let the shoe find you.
Okay, I'll try.
And then film it. And that could be a whole thing.
That could be a new
Brent finds his new shoe. And that
could be a doc, yeah.
It could be, yeah, I'm thinking small. I was just thinking about a vlog. But I guess this could be a film festival, darling.
Yeah, I know, it could, yeah. I mean...
Bro, really build it up. Do the whole backstory about how you love these shoes. You only have 2 left. And you don't know what your life is going to be like. But eventually, you're going to have to cross this bridge.
Yeah.
And as the viewer, when you're watching this, you're like, fuck, how is Brent going to handle this?
Maybe I should start doing the podcast once I'm on my last pair. And then, I have to decide, what am I going to do? What's my new identity going to be? I think it's going to be brown shoes, though. But we'll see.
And then you can sort of talk to other people, and your friends could give you ideas of what they think, and you could try them out.
Maybe I get to talk to Reebok in this documentary,
What if... the designer from Reebok, and you get to design your own shoe, which is just sort of like a better version of this.
Is the old style.
Yeah, they go, normally we don't do this, but we love your story so much.
Yeah,
we're coming out with the Reebok wine box.
That's, I think, going to be what it is.
What if they're called wine box, but they're spelled Bach?
Well,
B-O-K.
I would feel weird. We've done that. I think I've done that. No, we did that. We did Reeboks. I mean, we did it as a joke.
No,
Doug and
I want to do it for real.
It said Reeboks spelled B-A-C-H.
Mm.
We did that as a sort of a nod to the future of Reebok, which would be me kind of telling him to go back to the old style.
Because I've always had this idea.
Do you want to see the differences?
Yeah, but I've always thought that New Balance should have like the LD12s. Larry David should have a line.
Oh, does he wear New Balance? Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So what's the difference?
Well, I mean, for one thing, look at our tongues. You see how my tongue has a sort of border around it, and yours is sort of just this fabric piece. Do you see how that is? That's one difference. The tongue here is thinner. Yours is a thicker tongue.
Yeah.
Your shoe is actually
fatter,
thicker.
Yeah, it's beefier.
Height-wise, I guess. I think the sole is thicker as well. And then also, look, you have a rim or a groove that goes all the way around your shoe. Mine does not. That's the old style. It does not have a rim, a groove that goes all the way around. You see?
Interesting.
And also, yours does not say Reebok on the inside of the sole, on the bottom.
I almost feel like you're a Reebok magician. Here you go. And also, yours does not say I go, yeah, duh. What?
Yeah.
Holy shit. How did you do that?
There's no Reebok on there, is there?
What, in here?
In there.
It's just the ace of spades.
That's so funny. Now look in there further, and you'll find something folded up. Do you want to take that out?
Yeah.
Okay, open it up.
Yeah.
And is that your signature? I don't know.
Yes. Whoa.
I am the great Reebok.
Your magic is only limited to Reebok.
Are you cool with just touching your shoes like that?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't mind touching the bottoms of your shoes? I saw a video of a guy, I won't say who, he was touching the bottoms of his shoes and then licking his fingers.
I wouldn't go that far, but...
It's a comedian who was doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the things I would take in a fire, super easy. My laptop and hard drives.
Yeah.
They're just really small external hard drives. Passport. And that's it, I guess.
For
me, some clothes, and that's it. I'm out.
Okay, none of the records. You don't care.
I don't care.
You don't care about. Let's see, what else do you have?
Because that's all my creative stuff.
Okay, there's a couple things. I would get my chastity belt. My S&M chastity belt.
Right.
I got to stay pure when I'm out.
That's true.
If I'm displaced, I need to stay pure.
You need safeguards.
I need the chastity belt.
Because you're even more revved up, and you're all horned up with the fire, so you need the belt.
Yeah, the fires has got me fired up.
It's fired up, and you're all primal.
When I see fire, it ignites a fire inside me.
Iron sharpens iron.
And I need to stay pure, so I need the chastity belt. That's really important, is my S&M chastity belt. And then I need probably my polka dot jock strap that I got at TJ Maxx, that I got myself for Christmas. And I need, okay, this is a real answer. You're lucky you're not a collector. You're not a collector of anything, right?
No.
So I am a collector of games, video games.
Yeah. This almost feels like a roast. Like a backhanded roast. Like, I mean, you're lucky you don't collect anything. Like,
it's true.
You have no passions. And
no.
You don't got the money to collect anything.
Having a hobby.
Me, on the other hand, I have volumes of.
Well, it's true. I mean, having a game collection, being a collector of something, or having a hobby in that way where you collect stuff,
everything is precious.
That's a burden a little bit, in that if there is an emergency where you have to leave, you have to basically think, okay, I have to pretty much sacrifice most of this, but I'll take maybe the most valuable games I have, or the games that mean the most to me.
This is a question for you then. All right.
And my friend, by the way, who was in Altadena, he was confronted with that. He thought, he collects games too.
Yeah.
He said, okay, these are the games that are the most sentimentally
he had to pick his children.
The what?
He had to pick his children.
Yeah, you have to do that. And then I started thinking about other stuff, because at my mom's place, there was concern about her having to evacuate.
She had to pick her games.
Well, I went over there and I had to pick her game. Yeah, because she wasn't sure if she should keep.
She's like Star Fox
NBA
64.
Jam. Yeah, I know. She wasn't sure if she loves NBA Jam. Yeah. And she said, and even though you can get that game,
she left the photo album. Like pictures of you as a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to have like GoldenEye.
She said, because she doesn't, NBA Jam, you can get that easily on eBay for $2, but this is the NBA Jam that she had since she was a child.
Right.
Yeah. And she had that since the 50s, And she said,
when NBA Jam first came out.
When NBA Jam first came out, and they had, Wilt Chamberlain. I don't know. They had. Who do they have in that game?
Who did they have? They had Bugsy Siegel.
What's the guy West? What's the guy's name? What's the logo?
Jerry West. Jerry West.
They had that guy. You know.
They also had the guy who invented basketball in the game too.
Yeah.
With
they had Mr. Basketball. They had John Basketball.
Or
whatever. Actually, it was a lot of photos. I went over there and packed up all these photos. And they're still there, actually, in these bags, ready to go if she needs to leave. Yeah. And I went through some stuff that I had at my mom's place, and I thought, you know what? I have to. Some of these things I'm going to leave, and I'm saying to myself, okay, I guess. Actually, my high school yearbooks were there, and I thought, you know what? I'm not. These are gonna burn.
But how else will you know how to never change?
I know. What else would I have to remind myself to stay true to myself, or to remind myself to have a great summer?
Yeah.
I need that reminder.
Sometimes you forget to have good summers, and it's not until you thumb through those things that you go, I gotta
have a great summer.
Tiffany Thompson is right. Yeah. I do need to have better summers.
That's true. Yeah. Maybe I'm a little bit, remiss in leaving those, because there are some important messages in there, you know?
Yeah. Can we find out, can we learn what any of those messages are? Or do you not know off top?
I mean, Hags was definitely one of them, you know?
What is Hags?
Have a great summer.
Oh,
they would write that sometimes, just Hags. Yeah.
I've never heard of this before.
You never heard of Hags?
I've heard of the derogatory Hags. You know what I mean?
People would write that, Hags. And then
I've only heard Hags in reference to the second part of, like a female homosexual friend.
You never heard of just a hag as someone who's not attractive?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's that. Hags.
But hags.
Yeah,
hags,
a bunch of
plural?
hags. A bunch of hags.
I only know hags in the context of female friend of,
not me. I mean,
interesting.
Definitely, I think of it as somebody who's just not an attractive. Usually, it's a woman.
Well, I think all women are beautiful. So,
so do I. So I don't get. So do I.
So I don't get canceled.
I never understood it.
Do you want to get canceled on your own podcast or mine? Which one are we leaving? Oh, you didn't realize the theme of my pod? I just cancel my guests. I make it seem like we're buddy, and then I just try to destroy you.
Yeah. The okay, so what I'm getting at is
so photos.
So I don't know,
passport,
photos. Okay,
laptop.
so for me, oh man, it's so hard. Oh, I did save some old drawings of mine from my mom's place that I had I have all these stacks of drawings.
Yeah,
I saved those.
The one video game. What do you take?
The games, I can't even get into it, but it's just, to me,
your place is burning down.
I know. I take the most valuable games.
So it's monetary then. It's money.
Well, no. I also take it's just what my friend did too. Take the valuable ones. Take the ones that are that maybe I've had since I was a lot younger. Maybe some of those. But some of it has to go though. And you know what? In the end, a lot of that stuff is replaceable, I guess. But I don't know. I've spent a long time creating that collection. 20 plus years, and it's not about. It's kind of not about the it's not about the objects. It's the time I put into making this collection. I don't know. It's a tough thing to think about. Part of me thought to myself, you know what? What if it just all goes? You know what I mean? What if we just lose it all? All the notes, everything, all of my notes, all of my belongings. What if it just all goes? And then you just think, hey, in the end, when you're dead, what does it matter anyway?
I'm only precious about ideas, like losing my creative works.
Well, I thought about that too, and I thought, well, what if that goes too?
Well,
what if you just, what if it's just you and the world, and that's it? That's all you have.
That's fine.
I don't know. It's just,
I know it sucks and everything, but I think I'm very lucky that my chemistry or the way I'm wired, I don't care about things that much.
No, that's good. That's good. I do, by the way. I have a lot of sentimental value. I get attached to. I have a hoarder mentality actually, but I keep it in check a lot. So I always tell myself, throw it out, and I do throw things out. But there's a lot that it's hard for me to part with, and yeah, I mean, losing it all like that, maybe it's a liberating thing in a way too. Maybe it teaches you to not be such a hoarder or not to have hoarder mentality. But it's good that you don't care about things like that,
I guess, yeah. I'm lucky that it's only limited to my creative works, because this would happen sometimes when I was a kid. We'd get a computer virus or something, and then we would have to wipe the hard drive. And that felt like my house burning down or something. I would get so sad, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the music and everything, like even some Word documents of ideas that I had, and just having to reformat the hard drive.
Yeah.
I was like depressed for a few days.
No.
Because I had to start all over.
I lost, I lost a computer of mine that had stuff on it, and I felt sad about that too. And I guess I felt more sad about it.
This is almost a sketch where it's a support group for people whose houses have burned down in the Palisades. And, there's a bunch of folding chairs, and some housewife is telling this horrible story about how she lost everything. And then you're right after her, you're like, yeah, I lost everything on my hard drive.
Yeah.
Like, I had a lot of Blu-rays that I ripped.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like,
I pirated all these, I pirated a lot of software,
Word 97.
I had ClarisWorks on there.
Mavis Beacon. I learned how to type using that.
Exactly.
So I get where you're coming from.
I had Elastic Reality. I had
the original Oregon Trail.
I had Morph
with an emulator.
I had Morph 2.0 on there.
But sorry about your beachfront property, but my hard drive. So it's like we're peas in a pod.
Sorry about that Manet you lost in your, in your personal collection.
I had a JPEG of that, which I lost.
Actually,
and it was high res. So
I bet, well, that's why maybe some people. I've talked about this before, but that's someone's argument for maybe owning NFTs is, hey, these are safe from fires,
I know you're a big NFT guy. It seems like those are going down, though. Like, it had a nice little moment.
It's all going down. It's all going down.
Everything, the fires,
by the way, he's
NFTs.
Joking about me being a big NFT guy, but in case anybody thinks that. That
was slander? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't want anybody to think that, because when you said it sounded almost like...
I thought you were.
Wait, are you serious?
Well, maybe you were just preaching the virtues of the concept of an NFT last time.
Yeah. Oh, I did.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Like you,
I don't have any myself.
You know what it is? It's because you have been the victim of
that's why I brought
IP theft.
That's why I brought it up.
Because your gangster party line
that's why
is so brilliant, and there was no way to attach ownership to you. Whereas NFTs is a solution to that.
Something like that, yeah. I don't own any NFTs myself, but I understand kind of their...
Like, if it was executed perfectly, it would be a great solution to, like, this problem.
Yeah. So, okay. Going back to the fire thing, it's really a horrible thing to be in that position where maybe not as much for you,
I'm not doing cartwheels as I'm trying to pack up my things in case it burns down.
No, I mean, it sucks to just be forced out of your home.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's just horrible. But
it's the other weird thing too is, like, Emily from the Comedy Store she texted me. She's like, we're closed tomorrow too. Yeah. So the past couple of days, I wonder how long it's going to be closed.
There's no shows.
I
had a show the other day that got canceled. Shows are canceled. Everything. It's weird. It's a new pandemic almost. I mean, it feels like, it feels like.
It's also weird that it's on the heels of New Year, because New Year's is always kind of slow going to ramp back up.
Yeah.
But New Year's coupled with this crazy fire.
Right.
Yeah, it just feels like...
When does the business start up again?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because everything is closed. All things comedy is closed. Mm-hmm. So, and how long is it going to take for things to get back going again?
And then will people...
Because my whole thing, what I was supposed to do in this beginning of the year was start to reach out to buyers for this comedy special I shot in June, and see what was going on with that. Now, I mean, I don't know. Are people thinking about, oh yeah, we have to buy. What are we buying? Comedy specials right now? Or are they thinking? I mean, I would imagine most people are thinking
these execs thinking, where am I going to live?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What are people? I mean, people are focused on so many other things, and that's why it almost feels weird to put out a podcast right now. Yeah. Although this is going out to 200 people that don't live in Los Angeles, But
yeah,
a lot of people in Los Angeles, they are not thinking about anything except for what's
going on right now.
What am I doing? How am I? How do I get my life back on track?
I am curious, because I didn't know. What, you shot it in June?
Yeah.
Where'd you shoot it?
At the UCB Theater.
Franklin?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you shot anything there before?
No. And I learned some things about doing that.
What did you learn?
Well, the whole place is, connected. And so any kind of movement is going to shake the whole place, including the cameras.
Oh, you just mean like the structural integrity of that place.
Yeah.
So if somebody moves around, it shakes the camera.
It's a small place.
Yeah.
And everything is kind of wood and connected. And so you see the camera shaking in a lot of shots, unfortunately.
Interesting.
It's not horrible. I mean, I can live with it.
Can it be stabilized in post?
No, we tried. I mean, I mean, I'm going to have to live with it,
Yeah.
But you do sometimes see the camera shaking. Anytime, because I blew it up so hard, you see. I destroyed hard. You see, I mean, I'm an undeniably
talent and
an undeniable force in comedy. And so when I do my show, the audience can't contain. I mean, they're going wild. Right. It's like Def Jam, but it is to the next level. It's Def Jam to the next level.
I always say you're like the real Earthquake. Because there's that black comedian Earthquake.
Yeah, Earthquake, yeah.
But I always feel like
I'm the original Earthquake.
Yeah, he might be Aftershocks.
Yeah, he's changed his name. He's changed his name to Aftershocks.
I remember you two were on the same bill, and they had to swap names. You were Earthquake, and he was Aftershocks. Yeah. And it was weird that Aftershocks, like he had to go before you. Yeah, because it made no sense.
No,
why is
Aftershock opening for Earthquake?
And you go, well, because Aftershock can't follow.
Aftershock can't follow Earthquake.
Like I know in nature, Aftershock does follow, but what I do is unnatural.
What I do is supernatural.
What I do is supernatural, baby. Aftershocks featuring for Earthquake. Aftershock.
So
that's an unfortunate byproduct of you crushing so hard.
It is. I don't know. There's other issues and stuff, but anyway, no, it went well. I mean, the audience was good. The show was good. I performed well. It was good. All that was good. There's some production issues that are, I was hoping to, whatever. It's all doable though. I'm happy to put it out.
Yeah.
I wanted to try to sell it first before just putting it on YouTube. And
did you do it yourself, or did you team up with a production company?
I did team up. It was kind of a co-production of myself. Yeah, absolutely.
That could almost be a who's on first.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Who would they be?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you're gonna tell me.
Okay. Obviously, we've established that I would know who it is. Will you tell me?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, can you tell me who it is? Absolutely. Why are you giving me blue balls here? Tell me what the production company is.
I'm telling you, absolutely. Okay.
Then tell me. Who is it?
Absolutely.
Yes, we've established that, Brent. But who is the production company? What production? Are you going to tell me the production company?
Yeah. Anyway, and then at the end they're like, just forget it, and that's how it is.
I don't know that production company.
Yeah, just forget. Yeah.
You go, just forget it.
Just forget
I don't know
it.
that.
Yeah. Wait, did they produce the? They did that show Supernatural. I don't know.
But they did Aftershocks.
Wait, did they?
They did Aftershock special, right?
Aftershocks.
What about my brother? He was trying to remember Earthquake's name, and he couldn't remember it, so he called them Mudslide. like he just knew that it was a natural disaster of some sort. Yeah. And he's just like
Mudslide. That's really funny. Mudslide. He should be on the bill too. Mudslide.
That would be funny. There's like a black show, and it's like 6 comedians, and they're all natural disasters. It's like tornado, earthquake, aftershocks, landslide, typhoon.
They would all work. That worked. Those work.
Hailstorm. And then closing it out is high humidity.
Windstorm, firestorm, storm.
Hail. Absolutely. I tried pitching a sketch show with them, but we got no's everywhere.
It's
not their fault though. I'm poison. I'm selling in the room poison, Brent.
Yeah.
Why are we? I think we're like two really talented people, who they should just give shows to. I've always said that about you. I've always said that about you and Kyle Dunnigan. Just like hand you guys a sack of money and let you do what you do.
Hey, thanks for thinking that. But,
I've always thought this. You have a special brain. Kyle Dunnigan has a special brain. It's just so odd. Some of these people in this town. Like, how do you not recognize?
Hey, man, look, at a certain point when you've been doing this for long enough, you just sort of start to think, and I do think that, hey, it's just not like that,
What do you mean? Oh, the business you mean, or what do you mean?
Yeah, for the business-wise, industry doesn't really...
I've reached that conclusion as well.
They're not in
the business of good.
I have to just be grateful for the things I've been able to do.
I've gotten there too.
And it's just, this is what it is, this is sort of what, but who knows? I don't know. People get opportunities later in life, I guess,
Also, at the end of the day, I remind myself this too, is no one can stop us from creating. Like, be it stand-up, be it...
no one can stop us from catering to an audience of 200 or 100 or whatever. You know what I mean?
They can try, but you'll rip these 100 people from my dead, cold hands.
I do want to eventually get back to this game night at Questlove's house. I feel bad that we went away from that.
Sure.
But I just felt like we need to do it.
You are right.
There's this tragedy that's going on here.
I think I was just so excited to have you in that seat and catch up. But I forgot about the fire.
Me too, actually. I mean, I feel like it's so easy for us to go off and talk about things and go off on tangents, talk about Urkel or talk about, MC Hammer.
Yeah.
And look, we could still get back to that too.
This is true.
But, in my mind, I was thinking, okay,
we should
up top, we're going to address this stuff or whatever. And then, but then anyway, no, game night at Questlove's.
Mm-hmm.
Why were you there and how and why?
I ask myself this often.
By the way, a long time ago, before he was really that well known, he bought one of my T-shirts.
He's a huge comedy nerd, dude.
He was dating a comedian, and at the time, and we did a show together, and I was selling my shirts. It says Wine Rock and it has my face on it, and he got it. I mean, he was in the Roots, but people, he wasn't on the. People didn't really. He wasn't that well known, but he bought a shirt, and so anyway, I wonder if he still has it. I don't know.
Maybe.
But anyway, maybe too bad he wasn't wearing it at the game night.
That's a good point.
So wait, how did you get there?
So I forget. So he likes my stand-up.
Oh yeah.
So we've established he's a comedy nerd.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that he bought your shirt and went to your show, and
he went to my show because he was dating one of the comedians.
Okay. So, but still, he does love stand-up.
Yeah.
And he loves comedy, and then. I'm not quite sure how I ended up on his radar. Because Neil Brennan is a friend, and I know they're friends, so I don't know if he happened to catch my stuff through Neil, because I was touring with Neil for a bit. Yeah, maybe he caught some of my stuff from Instagram from Neil, maybe, or I think maybe he just saw my stuff on IG, because I was friends with Tariq from, I still am, but Tariq from The Roots.
Yeah.
The Black Thought.
Uh-huh.
The rapper.
Yeah.
So I did his show in Brooklyn a couple of years ago. And then we exchanged info and became friends. And so I was friends with Tariq first, and then Questlove later. And then I'm trying to think, they came to my show one time. I'm trying to think the first time that they came.
Okay, so through comedy, you became friendly with Questlove.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember I was doing Denver. I was doing Comedy Works, and then they hit me up. They go, "Yo, we have a show in Denver, but we want to come see your show before we go do our show."
Jeez, that's cool.
So Tariq and Questlove, Amir, came to Comedy Works, and they caught my set. Then they had to boogie.
Well, that's crazy that
then
they
went
made
to go.
time to go
I
see
know.
You.
It's
That's
insane.
Great. That's awesome.
And then the other comics too, like their heads exploded. These young comics, they go, the Roots are coming to. I go, yeah, it's nuts. And they got like pictures with them and stuff. So, and then when I did the Tonight Show, they were very cool.
Oh, so you did the Tonight Show.
I already knew them though.
You already knew them when you did the Tonight Show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was cool. I was in the green room with my mom and my dad and my brother, and they came in. They said hi. They said really nice things about like, oh, you should be very proud of your son. He's great. Blah blah. That was really cool. So we've known each other for a little bit.
And your dad said what?
He's like, wow, Questlove likes you.
He's
the coolest drum.
I thought you were going to say, I thought he was going to be dismissive, you know?
Probably. I mean,
who cares about
Black Thought? If Black Thought was a doctor, I would care. So then I got the invite to the game night. I was just surprised. I'm like, whoa, I didn't think I'd be on that list. So that's the first one I went to. And that's the one Weird Al was at. And I'm sitting at a table because there's a couple tables outside and there's different games. There's like a Jenga table. There's a Uno table.
I want to know what games they have. They're really...
It's Uno heavy. Uno is the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Uno.
Yeah.
So it's not just that it's pretty...
But they got everything.
Mainstream stuff. But it's in particular, they're going Uno.
Yeah.
So there's multiple tables of Uno happening?
Yeah.
Okay, now it seems to me like the aim is more to socialize, not play a game, right?
It's kind of both.
Okay,
but it is.
People are playing games?
Oh, yeah. And
really?
Then it gets pretty heated. There's some like
really
Uno
heated?
trash talking. Yeah. Me and Meg Thee Stallion were kind of going at it.
Okay, what?
I feel like she was cheating.
Really?
She was connecting things where I don't think you're allowed to connect that many.
Okay.
She's like linking fours and shit.
Okay.
But I still beat her for one of them. But whatever, it's a fun time, you know? But before things
Is there food?
Yeah, there's food.
It's really nice, huh?
It's really nice.
How many people come to this?
Maybe 40 or 50.
Oh, only 40.
It's not that crazy.
Okay.
And then so before the things, I got there a little early, this first one, and then I'm sitting at a table, and then I just see Weird Al standing by himself. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. And I go, I've been that guy at a party who doesn't really know anyone. I go, he probably feels just as weird as maybe I do. Let me do something I never really do.
And by the way, did you not know anybody there?
A little bit. I know Amir, but he's playing host.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't
that's what
corner
I mean.
him.
Usually when it's the birthday boy, he's not the birthday boy in this case. But he's the, host.
He's the
but
birthday boy.
I usually kind of let the birthday boy
let
alone
him be. Let him fly.
They can't really.
Yeah.
They're dealing with
I can't
everything,
latch on to him. I got to latch on to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. So you
I got to latch on to Weird Al.
Yeah, you don't know anybody there besides
really.
the host. And so you see Weird Al and you say, "Oh, it's 50?"
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Okay, we should.
You just leave immediately.
We'll wrap it up soon,
Sure.
and then we'll do another half hour if you want to stick around. Are you cool sticking around for?
I'll see. Yeah, I guess so. I could do that. So I see Weird Al, and I go, I'm gonna talk to him.
Yeah.
And so I just get up, and then I think I grab a bag of Cheetos, just so I have something to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wait.
I'm a little hungry too.
So you said I don't normally do this. I don't normally go up to what? Anybody at all?
Yeah.
Really? You don't? If you're just want to socialize at a party or something?
I don't do that unless it organically happens. I don't knock the domino.
Okay.
This is the first time that I did that.
So you get a bag of Cheetos.
I get a bag of Cheetos.
And you go up
as like my wingman. I'm gonna talk to Weird Al. I'm gonna need a bag of Cheetos.
So you get the bag.
Get the bag of Cheetos. Rip it open. I'm also a little hungry.
And do you go up to him and go, "Excuse me,
yeah,
Cheeto?"
Yeah. Pretend like that's the organic like the organic icebreaker. I just bump into him. Like, Cheeto?
Or
he goes, "Do you work for Cheetos?" And I go, "No, I just love Cheetos." You're Weird Al, right?
What did you do? You went up to him with a bag of Cheetos?
Yeah.
And you said...
I think I was eating the Cheetos.
Here's why I'm confused.
Hold on, there's also a picture. If you don't... I'm going to throw up a picture of me and Weird Al.
Yeah.
I also look great in this picture for some reason. It's one of the best photos of me.
Really?
I'm eating a bag of Cheetos standing next to Weird Al.
Here's what's weird to me.
Yeah.
The Cheetos is a weird move to meet somebody with because... If you're eating the Cheetos
That's
with your fingers,
point.
what are you going to do? Shake his hand with these orange fingers?
I might have waited before I started digging it. I probably said hello before I started digging into it.
Maybe that's a good excuse to say, "Hey, I was about to open this bag of Cheetos. I figured if I'm going to shake somebody's hand, I better do it now. So look, I just wanted to shake your hand. Hi, I'm Fahim.
That's good.
And now I can safely open up this thing.
Just 30 minutes of exposition before I say hello to someone.
Well, it's almost that's the end. Hey, I don't want to.
This becomes my move.
Yeah,
whenever I hit on chicks, I just have a bag of Cheetos and I go, "Hey, I was about to open up this bag of Cheetos and I wanted to say hello, but I couldn't do that once I had powder all over my hands." I decided
we might get introduced later, and I figured, look, I want to just. Let's meet each other now because I'm going to eat these Cheetos, and after that, I'm not shaking anybody's hand.
I'm not shaking anybody's hand. So why don't we do it up top before I really dig in there?
Yeah.
I just have like 50 bags of Cheetos in my trunk because I don't know how to socialize without this crutch.
Right. I think that could work. I think
Okay.
Okay. So you go up. You don't. The bag's not open yet.
And I'm like, hey, I'm Fahim.
Wait. Is that what you said? You say, hey.
I forgot what I said up top.
I'm him. Go ahead. I'm weird.
Hey, we haven't met. I'm Fahim. I think we have a mutual friend, Neil Brennan.
Oh, hey.
I'm
weird.
Because when... Hey, I'm weird. He introduces himself as... He goes, Al's too formal. Call me weird.
Yeah.
Please
call me weird.
He goes, Al's my dad's name. Call me weird. Mr. Al's my dad's name.
Al's my given name. I don't know.
Call me weird. But yeah, I think that was my in because when I was at the Comedy Store,
so
Neil does his show Blocks, his podcast, and he had told me offhandedly that like he did one with Weird Al. And then when I saw him, it was like, oh, cool, we have a mutual friend. And then he had done the pod, so then we started talking about that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, do you know anybody else at this party? Or it's like, oh, like I invited my wife, but she was busy or didn't want to come or something like that. And I go, so we were just talking for a bit.
Oh yeah,
but it was nice.
Did you get into? Did you have some burning questions for him?
Not really. I just wanted to talk to him like a regular person.
Okay, so you didn't ask him about, I don't know.
I'm not like I like Weird Al. I grew up with his music, but I wasn't a super fan who had like a list of questions and.
No, but okay,
he was just a guy at a party.
Mm-hmm, okay.
And I thought that'd be cool to. I had nothing going on. He's standing by himself. Let me chat up Weird Al. And then it was really, the timing of it was great because someone happened to be floating around with a camera, and now I have this cool picture that I cherish.
You cherish it?
A little bit.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Did you, are your fingers orange in the picture?
They might be.
Really?
I don't know. I'm not like this next to him.
But if you look closely, you might see some.
Yeah, CSI.
Some
Enhance.
Orange tips.
Enhance.
Yeah.
Got him. Got him.
And at the...
Why did I bring it? Yeah, why did
No, the game... Well, I know why, because we were talking about song parodies and stuff, but the game night, was it... So are people are actually playing games?
Yeah, it gets heated. It gets heated.
What other games are they playing besides Uno?
Okay, I've gone to 2 of them now.
Oh, yeah.
So this last one, we did Operation for a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're playing these really sort of...
They're classic.
Basic kind of... Just really,
they're not doing Settlers of Catan.
Major consumer.
They're not
even
doing
that
Risk.
is pretty mainstream, but even Risk is mainstream. But they're not doing anything long for one thing, and then 2, they're not. I guess how many people to a table? I mean, what's the most? There's multiple tables.
That's the other thing too. Is like, oh, you want to be at a cool table.
Yes. What's that like?
You know what's also really cool though? Because it's kind of dusk. The sun's about to set. I was at the bar area outside. And then I bump into this or I'm talking to this woman. We're having a nice conversation or whatever. This like older lady. And then she's like, oh, this is my husband. And I'm like, oh, hello. And I'm like, oh, this is Jimmy Jam.
Oh, it is, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and I go,
cool.
I am a huge fan.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, yeah. So much of the music that I grew up with is part of that New Jack Swing movement. Janet Jackson.
All of the all the
and
hits from
Link
Janet
to
Jackson.
Prince. Yeah. The Control album,
the
right?
Whole thing. Yeah, all of them. The Janet album. Janet,
yeah.
That's a lot of that is Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and also it is so weird. I feel like I've talked about this before on the podcast, but it's very interesting to me how, they were in Morris Day and the Time, which is Prince, basically, right? And then they go off and they start doing stuff with Janet Jackson, and supposedly there's a rivalry between Michael Jackson and Prince. What's up with that?
Ooh, you know what I mean? I've never thought about this.
Well, you know that there was a supposed rivalry between the two of them, and it's just interesting how her stuff is being produced by basically
the rival.
People from the Prince world, I guess, which is kind of the rival.
But then Prince didn't like that too, and right?
I don't know. I don't know, actually. I don't know what Prince thought of Jimmy Jam and
Well, I think
Terry
it's one of
Lewis.
those things where they become so successful, you got to like let the bird fly and cut them from the Prince camp. Like let them do their own thing.
I think I made a top 10 for the Patreon people. And you know what? I'll get to that in a second. For the Patreon people, I made a top 10 list of Janet Jackson's, my top 10 Janet Jackson songs. Can't remember if it was top 5 or top 10. Probably top 10. And I think probably 9 out of 10 of those songs are written by those guys.
Yeah. So it truly was a tremendous honor to meet him.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Yeah, I mean, what's your...
I also met LL Cool J at one of these things.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And did you... What table... Who have you played games with that... I mean, you said this person is Megan Stallion or whatever. I never heard of it. But who else? What are the cool... What's the cool table? Is Amir at the cool table?
Yes, any table he's at is like the cool table though.
Okay, I guess what I mean is did you see a table where you thought, oh my gosh, that's the table? And then
I think the second time I went, the first time I just happened to be at the cool table because I was already there, and then it just organically developed. Because if you are a peon, you can't just pull up a chair to the cool table. I think.
What's the cool table?
One of them was like JJ Sudeikis. I'm trying to think who else. I forget.
JJ
Abrams.
You just said JJ without even telling. As if I'm supposed to know who that is. That could be anybody.
It could be Reddick too, right? It could be JJ Reddick. It could be JJ.
JJ Walker.
Who's the JJ from Spider-Man? It could be him.
Wait,
it's like,
Parker,
Parker, I need this.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Jimmy Walker.
Parker, I need this by tomorrow.
Why do I think JJ when I think of Jimmy Walker?
Jimmy JJ Walker.
Yeah, because his character was JJ, right?
I believe.
Yeah. That's funny you say JJ Sudeikis. It almost sounded like the name was JJ Sudeikis.
That's a good point.
I thought...
I'm just saying all these names. No,
JJ... that made me sound... That sounded so...
Hollywood,
I guess, yeah.
You go, who all was there? And I go, let's see, JJ, LL.
CC...
Who's CC?
CC Winans? I don't know. Isn't that CC Winans is CC in music? I don't know. CC Winans is something.
LL. The other LL. And then I go, Bean.
Cool. Yeah. It's funny. You're LL, Cool, JJ.
Yeah.
There was LL, Cool, JJ.
LL, Cool, JJ. JJ, then the other JJ.
And you got to sit at a cool table at one point?
The very first time I went, I just happened to be part of that Meg Thee Stallion table.
Okay.
And she was the biggest person.
Did you play a game with Weird?
No. No, I didn't get to play a game with Weird.
That's the other part of it. You go, LL, JJ, Weird.
No. I go, AL. I just call him Al.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. AL.
JJ. AL.
Did you play at a table with Amir ever? He roves around.
He roves around, yeah.
That's cool. That's fun. I mean, I had one similar experience, sort of, which is that there's someone I know who does poker nights. It's not like, it's not a lot of, there's no celebrities going to it, but he does these poker nights. And I went to one of them. And anyway, the short of it is that I met, Ki Kwan was there, Data and from the Goonies.
Ooh.
And I met him and I talked to him for 20 minutes, and that was really cool.
Wow.
Because I wanted to be him when I was younger.
Wait, did he win the Oscar?
He did.
Wow.
But this was before that, though.
So you caught him in a lull.
I caught him.
If you caught him now?
He just decided to get back into acting when I met him. And he said...
So you caught him at a time where he would still talk to you. Now he'd tell you, like, hey, go get me a gin and tonic.
He was talking about how he just got cast in a movie that the Daniels were making.
Which one is that?
It was the movie he won an Oscar for.
Everything, that one?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he didn't... I don't think he knew the name of it at that time. Or maybe it was untitled or something like that, and... I didn't know the name of it, but he said he just got cast in it. But then there was delays because...
Who knew Encino Man was a breeding ground for some of our most talented actors?
Yeah. Encino Man has a lot of stars,
Mm-hmm.
But But anyway, it was just crazy because it was just crazy to talk to this guy who I wanted to be when I was younger. I thought Data was really cool.
Yeah.
He was my favorite Goonie, and it was crazy to be talking to him. So anyway, it was by the way, it was at Jeff Cohen's house.
What's he done?
He's an entertainment.
Oh, that's right.
So that's why Ki Kwan was there, is because they're good friends, and Jeff Cohen, he was Chunk in the Goonies. He's an entertainment lawyer now, and he's helped me with some legal things in the past. That's why I knew him, and that's why I was there. So anyway, that was cool.
That is pretty cool.
But
in the midst of that conversation, any tidbits you took away from it? Any novelty?
Well, he was just telling me. No, I mean, well, it just, he said, I think I'm not sure, I might be mixing up the stories, but part of the reason he got cast in that movie by the Daniels was because I think a higher up producer on it or something like that was a PA on Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and knew about him, knew him from then or something like that. There was some connection from when, Ki Kwan was a kid. And then there's, I don't know, something like that. I don't know. That was kind of a neat little
small
tidbit,
world.
That somehow he got thought of because of some early connection from the 80s, or something like that. But he had just gotten back into acting, and he changed his mind because, he talks about this in interviews, because he said the movie Crazy Rich Asians kind of made him
Inspired him. It
made him think, you know what? We live in a different time now where there are more roles for Asian actors and stuff.
Wow.
Or something like that. That's what he kind of thought. Yeah. But
there's none of that for Afghans, so I should give up.
You gotta wait for Crazy Rich Afghans, I guess. Or make that movie.
Yeah.
Look, we'll get more into stuff. Let's wrap this up and go into the unzipped portion of the show.
Yes,
which I don't know how that plays out on your show, but
I don't need to know. This is your ship, dude. Steer it.
I don't know how that plays out on your version of this.
All right, do I wrap it up on the Fahim Anwar Dance Hour here?
Do you want to wrap it up and then I'll wrap it up on mine?
Why not?
So you rap first, or do I rap first?
I'll rap first.
Okay, go ahead, rap first.
Okay, we're flying by the seat of our pants, guys.
I mean, I was gonna. Okay.
Normally I have a song that I blow them out to,
Oh, well, okay, then. Oh, I see. Okay, I get it. Okay, yeah.
I got to find it.
Oh, interesting. So yours will have that little beginning part before I did the intro.
Yeah.
And then it won't have me outroing this or wrapping it up with you. And so that's,
I don't
kind
know.
of like
I might leave it.
We'll both have this. Anyway, whatever. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Once I get behind the screen.
You know what? I've got some songs.
Oh yeah,
I've got some songs I heard recently.
You trying to DJ?
Well, I mean, it's not for your show, but for you know what? I'll do it as a little Patreon.
All right.
Stuff.
I wonder, what did I play last time? Okay. All right, this song is called Nighttime, and it's by Gabriel and the Finn. So if you're listening to the audio only version, that will play.
Okay.
Tell them where they can see you, Brent.
Oh,
you got any tour dates or social media?
I mean, okay. Brent Weinbach Comedy on Instagram. There's some clips on there.
Check it out.
On Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific time, I do a live stream thing with my sister called The Chicken Coop. Mm-hmm. And we it's us looking at a lot of old commercials, usually from the 80s, and just riffing on them and joking around. And so Chicken Coop, you can find it on my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Brent Weinbach. Again, Monday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's where you can tune into that. And then there's an Instagram account for that. That's Chicken Coop Show. And there's a lot of highlight clips on there. And those are really funny. So those are the main
And you'll
things.
be at Gelson's on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Doing a meet and greet in the produce section?
Yep. If you're
every Wednesday,
if you're in the Gelson's area, I'll be out there doing a meet and greet at Gelson's.
And you don't tell them which city.
No. If you're just in the Gelson's area,
this could be any Gelson's.
Yeah, if you're in the local Gelson's area, check me out.
Because you're quantum, you could be at every Gelson's.
I'm supernatural.
This is true.
I am earthquake. You know what I mean? And guess what? These earthquakes appear in regions that don't normally have earthquakes.
Because you're supernatural.
Because I'm supernatural. I'm unnatural. There's no dates I have to promote, but there's just that internet stuff, I guess. I mean, look, hopefully this comedy special comes out. It's called Popular culture, but I don't know when it's going to come out.
I'm excited for it. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Oh, I can't wait for you to see it. I can't wait for the people to see it. And unfortunately, it might have been a year since I recorded it when it comes out. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. There's a part in it where, I don't know, that is a bit...
Oh, are you like, will it be as relevant?
It's not going to be as relevant, but that's okay, whatever, But
maybe so much time has passed where it's funny again.
There's a Trump-Biden thing in it at one point, and it just sort of... That became old news even a month after I recorded the special,
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever. You know what? It's a time capsule. It is what it is. It'll take you back to the, make you relive the glory years of 2000.
Right. 24. It's sort of like when a baseball team wins the World Series and they're like, relive the moments.
Yeah, exactly.
So relive the election.
Yeah, relive that first debate. Mm-hmm. Okay, so are we wrapped up on your show?
We're wrapped, guys.
Okay.
See you next. Oh yeah, hold on. I'm in Vancouver at the end of the month. So January 30th to February 1st, House of Comedy. If you're Canadian, I'll see you soon. All right, now we're wrapped.
Okay, now I want to thank Jack. Okay, so we're going to continue on, and if you want to continue on with Fahim and me, go to patreon.com/Poundcast. You get the episodes a couple of days early, but you get these extended versions of the episodes. You get it half an hour more. It's a lot of fun. And sometimes little bonus things here and there, some music picks, maybe, I don't know, top 10 list, whatever. And then after that, so check that out. If you want to watch the show on video, you can watch it at youtube.com/thepoundcast. We have an Instagram account, The Poundcast. And I want to thank Jack Birch for his help behind the scenes. Thank you to Jack Birch. And I want to thank Fahim Anwar for being my guest here.
I want to thank Brent Weinbach. Thank you for having me.
Now, Fahim,
yes.
What can people... What do you want to plug? Okay, You got some dates?
I got some dates. Yeah, I guess so.
You got some dates that you just mentioned on your show?
What? No, I do. Yeah, I did. January 30th to February 1st, I'll be in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. So if you're there, maybe I'll see you. And if you go to fahimanwar.com, I have the rest of my tour dates on there. I forget. Oh yeah, I'm in Dallas. I think early February, and then Seattle and Portland. I don't know. Just I guess go fahimanwar.com, and maybe I will come to your city.
Okay.
Yeah, and Instagram.
And if you're in the Gelson's area, he might be there too. I think we're doing a co-headlining thing there at one point.
In the produce section, right?
Yeah.
By the avocados?
Yeah. Is there... Okay, and what is the social media thing? What's it?
Just Fahim Anwar on everything, except for TikTok. It's Fahim Anwar Comedy.
And I tell you this, Fahim is... First of all, so funny. He's one of my favorite comedians.
Ditto.
Okay, that's one. Two... Not only is he super hilarious, but he is so prolific. I mean, you're one of the most prolific comedians I know, I think. Mm-hmm. He writes so much material. He's always coming up with stuff. And he has so much material that he can afford to put a lot of it out as clips on the internet and not have to worry about burning it for a special or something. So he's got tons of clips on his Instagram account, stand-up, and that's not even the stuff that's on his special. And he's always churning out stuff. I mean, gosh, I wish I had that the ability to put out that much stuff. And he also makes a lot of little sketch videos and stuff and all kinds of stuff. He's always putting out stuff. I mean, he's so much stuff. He's so prolific. It's crazy.
It's too much stuff.
He's so prolific and very much in the world in stand-up and doing little comedy videos and stuff. Anyway, so... that's that. Thank you to Fahim Anwar. And we'll see you next week. And otherwise, we'll see you in just a bit at the Unzipped. Okay?
Unzipped, all right.
That's what we call it. That's when we get unzipped and when everything shakes loose.
It's full frontal?
Yeah, if you're cool with that stuff. We can blur it.
You'll blur it?
Yeah, we can blur it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it'll be out.
Yeah, and I blur it live. I get some Vaseline and I just sort of rub it on your crotch area.
Okay, so it's practical blurring.
Yeah, it's practical blurring. Yeah.
Okay.
We do.
Then, do you have to put it on? Why can't I just put it on? Why do you have to put the Vaseline?
Well, because it's my show. But then again, it is your studio, so you could do it if you want.
Maybe I do half, and then you do the other half?
Yeah, I'll do one ball, you do the other ball.
Okay, like a joint.
And then we'll share the penis. I guess something like that. I don't know. We can divvy up the penis how we want to do it. I don't know.
We'll figure it out on the fly.
That's a funny idea, though. Practical blurring. This first time I think that's been
where it's like obviously some gay maneuver, but you are just playing it off like it's practical.
Yeah.
Look, I work in Hollywood. It's gonna be too much work for my post guy to blur out your junk. We're just gonna do it live. Look, have you ever seen Star Wars? Those are practical effects. There's a reason they hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever see Turok Dinosaur Hunter? It doesn't hold up because it's all digital. So I am very much of the school of thought where I like using practical effects. So I have to put this Vaseline all over your balls and dick. And I have to apply it with my mouth.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Why?
I turn around and bend over.
Wait,
why are you doing
my
that?
butthole?
He's like, well, in case that shows up again.
In case that reflects off of the wall. Yeah. I don't want to explain myself. We're burning daylight. It's nighttime.
Now let me I'm gonna blur myself first, just to sort of to practice.
Yeah.
Just to get it get a primer going.
Get a primer, a base coat.
All right. Hold on. Let's save this for after. We can go on with this. Let's save it for the unzipped. Hey, I'm Brent Weinbach. This is the Poundcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in a bit. Bye bye.